Hello all, welcome back to the Spruce Gate Modeling. Today we will be doing some DAK DAC figures 135th from the Panzer II kit. So here are the figures. I'm not sure I'll be using this one, there's some problems with fit, but that leaves one SMG man, tank commander, machine gunner, and a rifleman. I will be focusing specifically on the submachine gunner. As you can see, they're all primed gray, and I will be painting them all as I go along. So here's the guy I'll be focusing on. We're going to start with the skin base. This is a mix of flat brown and light brown. I'm looking for a pretty dark base so that I can build up highlights from there. So this goes on all skin. Make sure to fully get all the skin. You can spill over a little bit because this is the first color, but face, arms, most of these figures are wearing shorts, so you also have to get their legs, which is a little annoying. Especially when you take into account some pretty bad miscasts on the legs, it is not great. So, now we're going to be moving on to painting the eyes, matte white with a little strip brown down the middle, before our second flesh highlight, which is going to be a mix of barbarian flesh and light brown. The next flesh highlight, we're just going to build them up here, is medium flesh and barbarian flesh. We're going to paint this on a little lighter than the last highlight, as always, before our final highlight, which is going to be pale sand and medium flesh. So, now we are going to move on to the uniform painting. The pants are going to be a mix of pale sand and English uniform, and the coat is going to be Russian uniform World War II. Now we're going to build up some highlights on that, pretty basic. The way that it's going to work is, for the pants, we're going to build up a mix, pale sand and English uniforms in various amounts for shadows and highlights, and we're going to be adding a bit of either German camo dark green or German camo light green, depending on what you're doing. And speaking of German camo dark green, we're going to be painting the helmet, gas mask canister, and mess tin German camo dark green at this step as well. So, now we're moving on to some details. Now we're going to be painting the boots. These are just flat brown, not that difficult. And we're going to sponge chip the helmet with khaki. This is a really heavy sponge chip, so that it's mostly khaki. The paint doesn't even need to look that worn. There just needs to be a little bit of a, mismatched pattern to it. So, there we are. We're done with that. We're going to be moving on to black details on painted metal. So that's the weapon, as well as, I'm pretty sure on this figure that might actually be it, but I know that on the tank commander you have to get the goggles. We're also going to be using khaki to paint the webbing. All of the webbing, that's basically how North Africa works. So that's, everything. We're also going to be taking pale sand to highlight that. Next up is a metallic highlight for the weapon, as well as for the gas mask canister. I'm not doing it on the helmet. It seems a little unnecessary. But that'll really just make things stand out a bit. For this is obviously gunmetal gray. So, I think there we are. We're done with that step, and we're going to be moving on to some more gunmetal gray details. These are the buttons, as well as the DAK pin on the chest. That's supposed to be flat gray, but it doesn't really matter. This is just better. So now we're going to be taking the only wash we'll be doing on this model, that being strong tone, and we're going to be applying it to the flesh. So here we are. These are the completed models. You're also going to have to paint rank insignias, which isn't that hard. This is an NCO, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take green, do some silver piping, and a silver dot in the middle. For the tank commander, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just do the same thing but with a bit of red and black rather than green. So here we are. I think they look pretty good. Thanks for watching. There'll be more on the diorama later.